Joining me on the other side of the planet, Lee McCormack. Macca, how are you, man?
Yeah, good mate. Yourself?
Very good indeed. Early morning for you.
Yeah, it's about 7:30 here.
So, how's it been for you? What was your summer like?
Summer's been good. It's actually it's been really wet over here in Australia. So we've had since since COVID, like obviously that's thrown a spanner in the works for everything. But then we've had a La Nina weather event here, and it's just been constant rain over the summer. So it was a really wet summer. Not a great deal of jumping happening because of that, but yeah, you sort of kick on and try to do your best.
What's your drop zone, Macca? Which one are you at?
I jump at Sydney Skydivers.
Yeah.
So it's about an hour's drive from my place. We've got a really nice pond there, awesome planes. The drop zone owners are really nice. It's yeah, good spot to jump.
Fantastic. Well, massive congratulations being invited onto the team for the World Games.
Cheers. Yeah, it's super exciting. I can't wait. It's like the first skydiving competition that I've been to that's part of something a bit larger with different sports. So yeah, it's going to be really exciting.
Yeah, the more I read about it, and the ones I've done before, previously, 2017 in Poland, and then 4 years before that in Colombia. But now the Americans have got hold of it, and they're really pushing out all the stops.
Yeah, it's really impressive. Like all the stuff that I've been seeing online and the social media presence they have. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm actually really excited to check out some of the other sports as well. And just because there's some really sort of interesting sports that you wouldn't sort of normally think of, and yeah, it'll be really interesting to go and see those.
Yeah, a big crew of us did that last time in Poland. We had a day off when the other sports were all doing their thing. We had a pass which allowed us to go and visit the inline skating, the korfball, the trampolining, the simultaneous trampolining. Really brilliant day.
Yeah, nice.
So we just said off air the last time we saw each other was in Poland, but that was 2018 for the World Meet, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because obviously, actually, my last international comp was South Africa in 2019, and then COVID hit. So the World Games in a couple of weeks. This is going to be my first international comp in nearly 3 years. So it's it's nice to be like dusting the rig off and getting back over the water.
Yeah. What some of the other Canopy pilots I've been speaking to, they reminded me that not only are you there competing as Canopy piloting, but you get to mix with all the other athletes from your country. That's quite special, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, you know, like skydiving is such a fringe sport, and it's gaining more popularity, and canopy piloting obviously being pretty much the only discipline within skydiving that's spectator friendly. So it's fantastic that we've got a leg up and get to participate in this. It's going to be great for the sport, and great for us just to be sort of part of something a bit bigger, and meet all the other athletes, as you said. And yeah, I'm really excited.
Who's going from the Aussies? Who've we got?
It's just me.
You're represented by yourself?
Yeah, well, so because during the COVID lockdowns, the Australian borders were closed, so we were pretty much in prison here. And then with the World Championships in Siberia, what was that, last year? Yeah. So that's where they were doing the selection for the World Games, and because none of the Australians were there to compete, we couldn't qualify at the World Meet. I just got lucky that freestyle didn't go ahead, and they selected people based off the world rankings. So that's how I got my spot there, and I'm not complaining about it.
Do you get any help from the federation, or is it all self-funded? How does it work, Macca?
I'm self-funded this year. Because our federation is like, they get most of their income from like pink cards from tandem. So every single time that someone does a tandem skydive, the Parachute Federation gets like a small fee from that. And because we haven't had international tourists for the last couple of years, the Parachute Federation hasn't been making that much money. So they've been a bit sort of tighter this year. So they have been giving out funding, but it's based on how you qualified at nationals. And I didn't have a great nationals. I didn't have any training leading up to it just because of that rain. So it's all self-funded for me, but I don't mind. I've got 2 years of travel to make up for. So
yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't thinking too hard about that, but yeah, Australia was fully locked down, no tourists getting in. Massive hit for the industry for skydiving.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, so a lot of the obviously a lot of the competitive skydivers are working skydivers as well, and so they've taken a personal hit to their income because they haven't had, you know, the incoming international tourists coming to do tandems and stuff like that. So so that's been a bit hard. A lot of the working skydivers have moved into other industries because they had to find other work because there just wasn't the work there to sustain them.
Right. Wow. Yeah, it's been a really, really hard time for everybody. And so, as well as the World Games, what's your plans for the winter? Anything else coming up?
Yep, I've got a busy few months. I've got in the next 4 months, I've got 3 trips to the States.
Have you?
So I'm over there for the World Games, and then I'm home for 4 weeks, and then I'm back over to Chicago for the vertical world record.
Right.
So I'm going to do some 200 ways there. That's going to be heaps of fun.
Yeah.
And then back home for 5 or 6 weeks, and then over to LEIGH for the World Championships. So yeah, the rest of my year is pretty busy.
Oh, good, good. When did it all start for you, Macca? When did jumping get into your life? How long you been skydiving now?
I started in 2006. So prior to skydiving, I used to snowboard a lot. I wasn't very good at it. I used to hurt myself all the time. I mean, I do that with skydiving as well, but I'm just a little bit better at it.
Yeah.
And I was over in New Zealand doing a season there in Queenstown, and there's a drop zone right at the base of the hill that we were riding. So my best mate and my little brother, we went and did tandems, and a friend of ours that we were snowboarding with, he was doing his AFF, and he'd go and do a student jump in the morning and then come up the hill in the afternoon, and he'd be frothing at the mouth about how good it was. And he talked us into doing our course. So we got back to Australia a few months later and booked in at Skydive Nagambie to do our AFF. We did that in a week, and I just never stopped.
And why canopy piloting? What was it about the canopy flight that grabbed you? Was there somebody that influenced you, or was it just something you found yourself naturally going towards?
I think where it began for me was during my early skydiving career, when you sort of get to the point where it's all, you know, at the start, it's all about the free fall, and the canopy ride is just the way to get to the ground after you jump. And there was a sort of a switching point where all of a sudden the canopy ride was the fun part as well. So I was, you know, you get to the end of your free fall, you track off, pitch, canopy opens, and then it's playtime again. And I was having so much fun flying my wing that it was sort of kind of like a natural progression for me to get into to canopy piloting, because I was wanting to like learn how to fly my wing better. And so I started swooping on a Sabre 2 170. That was a long time ago now. And just sort of kept going at it, and had some mentors in my early days. So Darren Griggs, he used to jump at my drop zone, and so he gave me a lot of pointers right from the start. But then I sort of didn't get straight into swooping straight away. I was still very heavily into free fly, and I did an artistic team at the World Meet in 2014, and it wasn't until 2017, I think. I had planned to start competing in 2016, but I broke my ankle. And so 2017 was the first year that I competed at nationals, and did quite well, made the team, went to Dubai for the World Cup, and that just had me hook, line and sinker. It was just such an amazing experience, and Dubai of all places, like, you know.
Yeah. So when you're heading off to Alabama, when does your journey start?
Next Friday. So I'm sort of not really winding down at work at the moment. I'm trying to get everything in place so that I don't have to worry about anything while I'm gone. But looks like I'll be heading to Florida first to go and do some training. I've just been trying to figure out I'll find a drop zone that has a pond and a course set up that we can do some training, because obviously with the new rules for this particular competition, it's a lot different to previous comps. So I want to try and get a fair few jumps in and just familiarize myself with the new rules. It shouldn't be too difficult, but you know, it's stuff that you just have to ingrain into your memory.
How do you feel about this new dragging distance?
It's interesting. I understand the need for it based on the space limitations at the drop zone. But it's funny because in my early days of comp, all my zone accuracy runs, I would drag all the gates and blow out the back of the course. So I feel like I'm pretty well set for this. If I just if I just pretend I'm setting up for zone accuracy, then I'll probably nail it at distance.
Brilliant. Macca, I look forward to seeing you down in Birmingham, Alabama. It's going to be a fantastic time, and travel safely. Thanks for joining us today on this.
No problems. Really good to see you, Regan. Looking forward to see you over there.
Take care, man. See ya. Bye.
Bye.